in her left ankle on August the 7th. And sources also stress that this does not tweak ankle does not affect her return timeline. Ankle injury, she would still be out rehabbing for her groin. So Caitlin Clark basically got hurt again. How did she get hurt again? I don't know. It's definitely looking hella spooky right now because if Caitlin was hurt and supposed to be.
Fresh details have emerged regarding Caitlin Clark's ongoing health situation, and the circumstances appear more concerning than initially understood. The situation requires a deeper examination, particularly focusing on what transpired in Indianapolis. Early observations suggested Clark was dealing with a biomechanical problem. When examining her movement patterns, there were clear indicators that her gait was compromised, similar to how someone might walk when their foot positioning is altered. Her walking mechanics were already showing signs of irregularity, which provided strong evidence of underlying physical issues.
Have been not doing certain things. How do the Fever organization allow her to get hurt again? August 7th, bro. She was already supposed to be out. She was already supposed to be out, bro. How does this happen? I don't know, but it's looking real damn spooky. I just have to be honest, guys. I am disappointed in the Indiana Fever organization for this one here. If this
Recent reports from approximately 20 minutes prior indicate that insider sources have revealed additional information. According to Chloe Peterson's reporting, Clark sustained a minor bone contusion in her left ankle on August 7th. The sources emphasize that this ankle issue does not impact her projected recovery schedule, as she would continue rehabilitating her groin injury regardless. This development raises serious questions about how Clark sustained another injury while already sidelined. The timing is particularly puzzling since she was supposed to be in rehabilitation mode on August 7th.
Organization for this one here, if this is a major ball drop for them to let her possibly hurt herself again. Now, they claiming that this is not going to affect her time coming back, but I just want you guys to see her walk real quick. Pay attention to this. I want you guys to see this footage right here. I'm about to pull up for you guys. So this is clearly a mechanical issue. Watch Caitlin Clark movement. I'm going to blow this all the way up for you guys. So
the management of her recovery by the Indiana Fever organization becomes questionable when considering how a player under medical supervision could sustain additional damage. The franchise's handling of this situation appears problematic. Allowing a player who should have been in protected recovery status to suffer another injury represents a significant oversight in their medical protocols. Despite claims that this new ankle issue won't affect her return timeline, video evidence from that period shows concerning movement patterns. Footage reveals Clark attempting to run with clearly compromised mechanics.
Watch Caitlin Clark movement. I'm going to blow this all the way up for you guys so we all can see this together. Watch Caitlin Clark. Watch her try to run. Now, they're claiming this is from the ankle injury. I bet you any amount of money. Caitlin Clark was already limping. Sophie Cunningham making fun of her. I don't, bro, how do she bruise her ankle? How remotely do y'all allow her to bruise her ankle, bro? Knowing she's supposed.
The movement irregularities suggest she was already experiencing difficulties before the reported ankle incident. There are conflicting narratives emerging about the severity and timing of these issues. Some observers noted unusual behavior from other players, including Sophie Cunningham's reaction to Clark's condition. Questions arise about how an ankle contusion occurred during what should have been a controlled rehabilitation environment. The circumstances surrounding this injury during her recovery period remain unclear.
She's supposed to have been rehabbing. Knowing she's supposed to have been not on her, not doing nothing. Scott Agnes really out here making you pay for articles, bro. He really out here making you pay for articles, bro. Oh, my goodness. Look, Scott Agnes need all the money. Look at him. He's straight making. Now, this isn't like this is his own website, which I ain't going to knock his hustle, bro, but whatever, dog. It says sources said that Caitlin Clark recovering
Additional reporting from Scott Agnes indicates Clark has dealt with multiple injuries throughout the season, limiting her to only 13 total games and 9 regular season appearances in her second year. The Indiana Fever's visit to Phoenix on August 7th proved memorable for unfortunate reasons, with Sydney Colson suffering a torn ACL and Ari McDonald breaking her ankle during the same time frame. According to these reports, Clark's ankle injury occurred during a workout session near the end of the day. However, video evidence from August 7th contradicts some of these claims. Footage shows Clark arriving at the venue in street clothes, walking normally without any apparent limping or mobility issues.
Sources said that Caitlin Clark recovering from new injury. Caitlin Clark has battled a handful of injuries this season, limiting her to just 13 games, just 9 regular season contests remain in her sophomore year. What's crazy is that you want to profit off Caitlin Clark, but you sneak diss her because this is you profiting off Caitlin Clark, bro. Instead, the Indiana Fever visits to Phoenix on August 7th is a day they won't soon forget. Before Sydney Colson went down with the torn ACL in the first quarter.
The discrepancy between reported injury timing and visual evidence creates confusion about the actual sequence of events. Video from the alleged injury date shows Clark moving normally, carrying luggage without difficulty, and displaying no signs of the ankle problems that were supposedly sustained that same day. This contradiction becomes more significant when comparing it to recent footage showing Clark with obvious movement limitations. The timeline doesn't align logically, suggesting that a mild ankle injury from 2 weeks prior would suddenly manifest as noticeable limping seems implausible. The inconsistencies in reporting and visual evidence suggest that either the injury timeline is incorrect or there are additional factors not being disclosed.
Don't forget, before Sydney Colson went down with the torn ACL in the first quarter and Ari McDonald suffered a broken ankle, All-Star guard Caitlin Clark sustained a new injury earlier in that day. Clark, who has been working her way back from a right groin injury, tweaked her left ankle during a workout session. It happened near the very end. Now, I remember that day. Now, that was the day. Let me see here. That was the day your boy John the Liquidator did a video.
The mechanical issues observed in Clark's recent movement patterns appear more severe than what would result from a minor ankle contusion sustained 2 weeks earlier. These developments raise concerns about transparency in injury reporting and the effectiveness of the medical management protocols being employed. The situation requires continued monitoring as more information becomes available and the discrepancies in the official narrative are addressed. The WNBA recently celebrated breaking its all-time season attendance record with weeks remaining in the regular season. However, the league's choice to feature Paige Bueckers prominently in this announcement raises questions about accurately representing the factors driving this historic achievement.
Did a video. Let me see here. That was the day. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see here. Let me see. That was the day Caitlin Clark made it to the arena with in regular clothes. In regular clothes. That was that day. Ooh, I hope I can find it, guys. I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find that footage.
Dallas Wings Buickers team currently sits 9th in league attendance rankings. Without their 2 marquee matchups against the Indiana Fever, which drew approximately 20,000 spectators each, Dallas would likely drop to 11th place. This positioning hardly justifies highlighting Buickers as the face of record-breaking attendance figures. The primary drivers of increased viewership appear to be different teams entirely. The Indiana Fever leads attendance with 16,500 fans per game, followed by the Golden State Valkyries at 13,300.
Trying to hit 56.75k by the end of the day. But, like, Paige is not a draw. And I'm not saying Paige is a bad player. Paige is a really good player. Like, if we're talking about WNBA guards right now, so take Caitlin out of the conversation because she's been injured the entire season. The only better guards than Paige Bueckers this season have been Kelsey Mitchell, Alicia Gray, Kelsey Plum, Sabrina Ionescu, Skylar Diggins, and Courtney Williams. She's been the 7th best guard in the WNBA, which as a rookie is incredible. It is absolutely incredible, and I do think later on when you put proper pieces.
These organizations deserve recognition for generating the crowds that contributed to the attendance milestone, rather than a player whose team struggles to consistently fill venues. Regarding Bueckers' performance as a rookie, her skills merit acknowledgement. Among current WNBA guards, excluding Caitlin Clark due to injury, several players have outperformed her this season. Kelsey Mitchell, Alicia Gray, Kelsey Plum, Sabrina Ionescu, Skylar Diggins-Smith, Courtney Williams, and Kayla McBride. This places Beckers roughly 7th or 8th among active guards, which represents solid rookie production. Beckers possesses clear strengths that could flourish in the right system.
I do think later on, when you put proper pieces beside Paige, her downfalls, as in her inability to score in the fourth quarter, her refusal to shoot a three-pointer off the dribble, all of these kind of flaws when she's the third option on a team, because she's a pretty okay catch-and-shoot three-point shooter. She's going to be left open a lot more. That mid-range shot becomes deadly, or cutting becomes deadly. She can run as a pure off-the-ball cutter, or she can play the point, or you can run a motion offense. I think you can put Paige is a perfect cog in a system. Like, if you put Paige on
her catch-and-shoot three-point shooting shows promise, and her court vision enables effective off-ball movement. She could excel as a third option on a contending team, perhaps even a second option alongside an elite primary scorer. However, certain limitations currently restrict her impact, particularly late-game scoring and reluctance to attempt pull-up three-pointers. The attendance disparity becomes more striking when examining venue capacity utilization. Dallas operates from one of the smaller arenas in the league, yet fails to achieve sellouts regularly.
Off the ball cutter, or she can play the point, or you can run a motion offense. I think you can put Paige is a perfect cog in a system. Like, if you put Paige on the Minnesota Lynx, she looked like one. She'd be unbelievable. Sorry, Kayla McBride as well has been a better guard this season than Paige Beckers. But if you put her on the Lynx, she would look absolutely unbelievable. She's not a 1A. She's absolutely not a 1A. I don't even know if she's a 1B. But like, she could be the perfect third option on a team. Maybe the perfect second option, depending on how good the first option is. Like, if Fee was the first option, she'd be a great second option. Like, she's
Meanwhile, the Atlanta Dream, playing in an even more compact facility, consistently approaches capacity for home games. The Wings average approximately 9,400 attendees per contest, well below the league average of 11,000, ranking them 11th among 13 franchises. Road game attendance provides another revealing metric. Teams with genuine drawing power attract large crowds regardless of venue. The Indiana Fever demonstrates this phenomenon, generating substantial interest in opposing markets.
She'd be a great second option. Like, she's better Courtney Williams, but doesn't have the dog of Courtney Williams, if you get me. But yeah, either way, like, Paige is on everything here for record attendance. The Dallas Wings, I shit you not, they have one of the smallest arenas in the WNBA, and they don't sell out. Like, the Atlanta Dream have a much smaller arena than the Dallas Wings, and they basically sell out every home game. Like, and I don't even think the average attendance for the Wings in 2025.
Dallas shows no comparable road attendance boost, suggesting Buickers has not yet developed into a significant attraction for neutral fans. The Indiana Fever accounts for roughly 24% of total league attendance, highlighting their outside's contribution to the record-breaking season. The Valkyries also deserve substantial credit, consistently selling out their home venue and averaging over 13,000 fans per game. These organizations represent the actual engines behind increased attendance. Historical context matters when evaluating media expectations surrounding Buickers.
And I don't even think the average attendance for the Wings in 2025 is 7,000. The league average is 11,000. And you might be like, oh, but they only play at College Park. They have away games too, don't they? They have away games too, don't they? Like, they don't fill out away games. They don't sell away games. They barely sell home games outside of Connecticut, because Paige played at UConn. They barely sell out away games. They don't sell out home games unless it's against Caitlin Clark or freaking the what's their names? Struggling to think.
Around 2020 to 2021, many predicted she would become the WNBA's future cornerstone alongside players like Hailey Van Lith. However, the emergence of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese shifted the landscape dramatically. International prospects like Dominique Malonga also present compelling long-term potential. Other players have similarly captured fan attention without receiving comparable media focus. Kennedy Carter generated significant viewership interest during her breakout season.
Struggling to think. The Aces with Aja Wilson, who, by the way, could very well win MVP. I would be, like, it's not going to be unanimous, but if when it's all said and done, if the Aces get the second seed, I'm gonna be less angry if the Aces get to the second seed if Aja wins MVP this year than I was if she won unanimous last year. I think it was a joke that she won unanimous MVP. I thought it should have been really close, and I think if they get to the second seed, it'll be a close race, and rightfully a close race this year. Because
Sha'Carri Richardson's Indiana Fever appearances draw more television audience than typical Dallas Wings broadcasts. The New York Liberty's success with Sabrina Ionescu and strong attendance figures further demonstrate that multiple storylines drive league growth. The Eckers deserves recognition for her contributions to women's basketball visibility, particularly during the pandemic period when college basketball attracted heightened attention. Her impact on the sport's profile during that era was meaningful and lasting. However, current WNBA dynamics reflect different realities.
Close race this year. Because let's be real, the media is, if nothing else, the media's already given Fee Collier the MVP, and Aja could be screwed this year. But like, the Dallas Wing, why are the Valkyries not the face of this? Like, if you don't want to credit the Fever, who, by the way, the Fever averaged 16,500 fans per game. The Valkyries, 13.3. The Liberty, 13.2. The Aces, 11.6. The Sparks, 11.5. The Storm, the Phoenix Mercury. Like, they have 9,000.
The league's current attendance boom stems primarily from teams like Indiana and Golden State, along with established franchises maintaining strong local support. Dallas Wings' position near the bottom of attendance rankings, despite featuring a highly touted rookie, illustrates that individual star power requires supporting elements to translate into consistent fan engagement. Television viewership patterns reinforce these attendance trends. Games featuring certain teams and players consistently outperform others in ratings, creating a clear hierarchy of fan interest.
They have 9,000. Is it only, so it must be only home people at 7,000. I don't know. It says here, average is 9.4 thousand viewers. So they are, because they played 35 games, they're actually 11th. They're 11th out of 13 teams. They have less fans at games than the Sky. They have less fans on average than the Lynx, who don't even open the upper bowl of their arena. They have less.
The disparity between media narrative and actual audience behavior suggests a disconnect between promoted storylines and consumer preferences. Moving forward, accurate representation of what drives WNBA growth becomes crucial for sustained development. Acknowledging the teams and players genuinely responsible for record attendance allows for better strategic planning and marketing decisions. While Beckers possesses talent that should contribute to future success, current evidence indicates other factors deserve primary credit for this historic attendance achievement.